Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Has Been Hangout. It's good to be back. We took a little break, but like I said, we got a lot of big things coming up this week. We're going to cover some NASCAR, some college baseball, some softball, and just some other stuff going on around sports. But with that, Colton, hey, we're glad to have you back, buddy. Hope the baby's doing well. Hope everybody's doing good. Um, so let's get right into it. We had the Daytona 500 on Sunday. Tyler Reddick got the win. His first Daytona 500. Good for 2311 Motorsports. Good for Michael Jordan. Good for Denny Hamlin. Um, two big wrecks on the last lap. Thought they were going to throw a caution. They didn't. Um, so yeah, Tyler Reddick, only the fourth driver in NASCAR history to get his first 9 wins on 9 different tracks. So congratulations to
Dang.
him. Yeah, congratulations to that team. Um, he's a guy who has really put in a lot of work. Um, and I saw a post the other day on Facebook that you remember the old video game Colton Dirt to Daytona that we used to play a
Mhm.
lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's his story from dirt to Daytona. He started racing in the dirt, and now look at him, Daytona 500 winner.
I
So,
mean,
congr- congratulations to them again. Um, but we had Ricky Stenhouse coming in second, Joey Logano in third, Chase Elliott in fourth, which is who I thought was going to win, and he got wrecked like maybe not even a quarter mile to the finish. And then Brad Keselowski, who by the way broke his leg in December and still raced in this race.
that's a
So
GD man, bub.
yeah, so congratulations to the top five drivers. Lots of big points, and we'll see how that continues to play out, especially since they brought back the chase. Um, which is not as popular among drivers as we were kind of discussing before. It's not really as popular among drivers as I thought it would be. So we'll see kind of how all that plays out. I am interested to see though, because it's since they've gotten away from the playoffs, it's not win and get in. You have to accumulate the points to be there. So um, it's all about how you finish. Stage points will probably play a role in that, and so we'll see. We'll kind of see how the NASCAR season continues to play out. They got Echo Park Speedway coming up. So, Vic, what do you got? You look like you wanted to say something.
I mean, I'm not in the car racing. Um, and I don't understand or see why they don't like the chase being back. To me, that puts more a little margin of error on the engineers, the whole team, not just the driver and everything like that. I think it's good for NASCAR. I mean, Daytona is the Super Bowl for NASCAR. You really think
Yeah,
about it.
absolutely. Hmm.
And something about watching that race, it just felt like I was a kid again.
Yeah.
Especially because my mom and dad were heavily involved. My wife and I, that was a good bonding time where we could watch the race together, and it brought back a lot of great memories. And man, what a heck of a race, brother! Like you were
Yeah.
saying, that last lap was ridiculous. But let's not also forget everything that went into it. You look at what they're all doing with fuel now. And they were showing it on the
Yeah.
side of the screen, how many laps since they pitted and stuff like that. Like
Hmm.
that's very, very intriguing to see from a guy or from a viewer that doesn't watch it as often or hasn't watched it in a long time. And it made it so easy to just understand, just to pick up on it and what was going on. Like I'm very excited NASCAR's back. I'm very excited that they're bringing the chase back, and I cannot wait to keep watching
So
this season for sure.
to go to what you were saying about them like saving fuel and stuff like that, like in between pit stops, and you get like, especially the last stage is usually the longest stage of the race. And so they'll get to a certain point and they'll start saving fuel. Well, um, on Dale Jr. downloaded, I don't know if any of y'all watch that, go check it out. But they talk about these drivers saving fuel and how in a race last year, it was Team Penske got mad at Brad Keselowski because he didn't give Logano the push that he wanted because he was saving fuel. Well, if you noticed, um, at one point during the race, the speeds dropped. They were only driving around 175 miles an hour because
Really?
every single person was half throttle, saving fuel because that's what you get with stage racing. And I'm hoping now that they got rid of the playoffs that it'll allow the drivers to be a little bit more competitive, especially on drafting tracks like Daytona, Talladega, Echo Park Speedway, which is Atlanta now. Um, so these drafting tracks, I'm hoping because it's all about how you finish. You have to get the points, and so I'm hoping that the competitiveness within the racing will get a little bit better.
Let
But
me
Got a
let
quick
me go
question.
back. Uh, hang on,
what's
let
up?
me ask, let me just say this real fast. Before the race, the announcers were talking about the whole fuel thing, and I'm gonna move on
Mhm,
from this real fast. What I thought was so cool was they were saying that the lead driver, if he goes to pit versus somebody that's in fifth place that goes to pit, the lead driver is going to need more fuel because they're going up against so much more wind resistance. And like you were saying, a drafting type track and versus the guy that's in fifth, the guy in front might need 7 gallons out of a 19-gallon tank to top off. And the guy
mhm.
that's fifth might only need 5 gallons. I thought that was so just it was simplifying it down to the littlest questions you could have, man. Like yeah,
Yeah, I
that,
mean, you
that was
got to think
awesome.
about it like a train, right? So if you're out front, you're basically pulling all of those cars behind you because they're feeding off you. So yeah, you have your guy in first place. He is full throttle, but your guy in fifth maybe 75 or 50 because he's able to ride in that draft and he's just being pulled and pushed. He's
Yeah.
not really having to do too much on the throttle. So yeah, that's why I said on the last pod, it's not just about sitting in a car and turning left. There's a lot more that goes
There's
into
a
it.
Mhm.
lot that goes into it. And sorry for cutting you off, Colton. Go ahead, buddy.
No, you're good. You're good. I just have a couple questions, and I don't know if y'all have any looked into this at all. So I know Ford's getting back into the F1 deal with the whole Team Red Bull and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Do y'all think some of the Red Bull stuff is going to cross over into the Fords in NASCAR?
It hasn't crossed over into the Fords, but there is a Trackhouse Racing has a car sponsored by Red Bull in their Chevy.
Okay.
So,
And then you got Ty
which it
Gibbs.
is,
He's sponsored by Monster, but he drives, I believe, a Toyota.
yeah. But
Well, the
I
reason
mean,
I
Red
ask that is
Bull,
because Red Bull has like specific stuff that they like build into these cars. I wonder if they're going to
Mhm.
start bringing some of that stuff since they're going to be partnered now with the whole F1 series. I wonder if they're going to start like maybe they may sponsor one car, but I wonder if in the Ford product they're going to be putting like I'm just going to say circuitry by Red Bull and stuff like that. I wonder if that's going to bleed over into both sides.
Could be.
it would be interesting to see. It is cool to see Red Bull back in NASCAR though. Not gonna lie.
Hey,
They were there for a while. The Red Bull cars, man, they just look sick. They just look so good. It's hard to not like a Red Bull car because they just look phenomenal. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I say, I think NASCAR's back. I think they're getting back into the spotlight. Um, it's just a true American sport. Honestly, it's
mm-hmm.
just a true American sport. Uh, and even for the people who don't know NASCAR, they know Dale Earnhardt, right? Dale Earnhardt he still sells more merch than anybody in NASCAR because it's Dale Earnhardt. So it is cool to see. It's cool to see what they do for him on the third lap every year at Daytona. Hold up the three for Dale, and you know, it's always something that we have to revisit every year in NASCAR. But it is still cool to see the way he gets honored.
Mm-hmm.
So, but with that, we'll go ahead. Let's move into some college baseball, fellas. Let's move into some college baseball. Specifically, Oklahoma. They have came out of the gates pretty hot, winning their first four games. They've outscored opponents 42-12. So they beat Texas Tech 10-3, Oklahoma State they beat 10-1. TCU they beat 12-2, and New Mexico State they beat 10-6. Um, Needless to say, their offense is there. The bats are hot early. Um, Cameron Johnson for OU in the first game against Texas Tech, he went 6 innings, only gave up three, walked three, and struck out 11. So pretty dominating game. Oklahoma State, I'm gonna butcher this name. the guy OU had pitching against Oklahoma State, LJ Mercurius. I don't know. He went 5 and a third, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 12 Ks. So they've got some pretty dominating pitchers. It'll be interesting to see if they can keep this pace up and get back to the College World Series. I know they were there a few years ago, um, but it would be interesting to see if OU can continue dominating the rest of the season. So we'll see how that plays out. And I'm excited. I'd like to get back if OU comes to play Arkansas, and I checked their schedule already. I can't remember, but I'd like to go check out. I'd like to go check that game out. So
That'd be
because
pretty dang good.
Arkansas,
That'd be a
yeah, I mean Arkansas is a top tier baseball team, so
Mhm.
it would be cool to see go watch them, see how OU's kind of matching up. The OU got ranked. They weren't ranked. They moved up in the rankings. They're ranked number 21 now, I believe.
Okay.
So it'll be
um.
interesting. What's up?
You know what I think is hilarious is I'm looking at it. UCLA was number one unanimous
Mhm.
preseason. They're playing
Yeah,
UC San Diego and they lost 8-7, so they're 2-1, and it's already fueling the overrated debates. And I got a question for you guys here: is it too early for that?
I
Or
think so.
yeah, it's
Man,
yeah.
I'm gonna bring up college football. I miss the old days where it's like nobody was ranked until like week 4 to week 6. It's like you had
Mhm.
like your rankings, but you know,
I,
just let them duke it the heck out for a
I feel
while.
like I feel like
Build
rankings
the
have just
anticipation. Yeah, that's what I said. Build the anticipation. Let it's like, okay, who do they think's better than us? Well, now it's like, okay, they think this song, okay, they think this better than us. They think we're better than these guys. Da, da, da. It's like, no, if you take that, put the big question mark back up in there again. Say, all right, who's gonna be ahead of who? I don't know. We'll
yeah,
see.
yeah. Go ahead, Vic. What were you gonna say?
it's just like I think rankings don't really mean anything right now, especially when you got a long season to go through. But I'll tell you who has really caught my eye. Um, Texas and Mississippi State both look very sharp 3-0. Both of them right now.
Hmm.
Before obviously tonight, I haven't checked the scores for tonight, but I'm trying to hold it in, man. But I'm so happy baseball's back.
Yeah, no, you're good, dude. I'm
All
glad
level, bro. I
baseball's
was about
back.
to scream in the mic. Let's
Yeah, dude.
breathe heavy. Selling it.
Baseball's back, man. It's
Scream,
But
good
dude.
to see.
Scream. Do it.
And what else? What else you got? I know you're.
sorry, man. I keep pausing, but LSU's defending champs from 2025. They went 3-0 over Milwaukee.
Hmm.
They're like, oh yeah, they're definitely number one. Like, calm down, everybody.
Well,
Relax a little bit. I'm
here's my
not
thing.
saying Milwaukee was a bad team. It's just obviously two tiers, two different tiers, two different NILs. It's everything.
Well, rankings in college baseball to me are pointless because
Yeah.
look, you're not gonna go out there and win every game. Now I know we had that um, LSU Shreveport team last year who won every game, literally every game. Um, but not in top tier D1 baseball. I mean, you have teams getting in the College World Series that aren't ranked. So
Yeah.
let's stop pretending that rankings mean something in college baseball because they don't. It doesn't matter where you're ranked. It just matters if you're getting hot at the right time.
Hmm.
So, because you could go out there and you can, you know, pitter putt around for most of the season. Well, enough to make the playoffs and say, you go to your regional, you win your regional, you win your super regional. Well, look, now you're in the College World Series and you haven't really done anything all season. So, but if the bats get hot at the right time, pitching stays strong, bullpen is strong, then you have a shot. You have a shot. So, not
100%.
ev- yeah. I mean, we don't see um, every top team get into the College World Series each year. You can guarantee at least 1 or 2 teams from the top 10 are going to be there, maybe even 3. But let's just stop pretending that rankings mean something in
Mhm.
college baseball or in baseball in general. If they're going to do that, like let's put a division up and play it that way. And then have divisional round playoffs and like stuff like that. Do it that way.
be very intrigued to see that.
Yeah, I mean, kind of do it like they do in the pros, because you don't have like these FCS. You don't have FCS teams in college baseball. They
Mhm.
all play the same. So that's why you see these guys playing these teams you've never heard of before, which is great. And you see these teams that you've never heard of before actually being pretty good. But it will be interesting to see who gets in. Any early picks for the College World Series?
Man, there's quite a bit, but I mean, way too early Omaha prediction. Obviously, we're gonna go LSU, and we're
Four
obviously
games
gonna
in,
go UCLA. Yeah, but that's why we call it way too early.
way too early.
Man, I could definitely see if Mississippi State stays on the track they are. I mean, they have some absolute lively arms in that bullpen. They have a lefty
Hmm.
freshman who is throwing 99 at people's chins. I saw a video from the pitching ninja over there on X. By the way, Rob, thank you for everything you do. You keep the fire alive and all of us has-beens. But I mean, he almost rung some dude's clock, his bell.
Yeah.
I mean, 99 to the chin. He backed off and he went.
Yeah.
I like Mississippi State. But like you said, week 2 things are going to shake up tremendously throughout these next couple months, and even this coming week, week 2. So
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see how the layout comes.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Colton, you got anything you want to add to that?
And being an Oklahoma boy, I hope some Oklahoma teams make it. Yeah. Other than that, I know from what I gather, and this has been years ago, back when you were kind of in college, following that stuff. I know Oral Roberts supposed to be pretty decent baseball school, from what I remember. Is that changed? Is that not changed?
I don't think it's changed. Shout out Nolan Fanning, who I played ball with and used to coach there. They made it to the College World Series a couple years ago, last year, a couple years ago, something.
Mhm.
Um, so I mean, no, they're a solid team. They're a solid baseball team.
Like I said,
Um,
I'd like to see a couple Oklahoma teams make it. At least one Oklahoma team make it. Being an Oklahoma boy myself. Um,
yeah,
but again, like I said, I'm not a massive baseball guy. I've kept up a little bit with the OU stuff going on. I found some pretty funny parallels between the OU baseball and softball teams. We'll bring those up in a minute. So yeah,
yeah. What you got, Vic?
I forgot Coastal Carolina.
Oh yeah,
Bud, Bud,
yeah.
you talk about just straight discipline.
They're
Those
good.
boys last year, yeah, they
They're
they
good.
are dangerous, and they're always never talked about towards the end.
I know, and they're ranked number 6 right now. So, which, like I said, rankings don't matter. But I mean, if we're gonna look at rankings, they're ranked number 6.
And they're
Where are
three and
they at
zero.
in the Yeah, where are they at in the conversation? So,
Uh,
um, it, like I
do
say,
y'all
it's
feel like there's kind of like tiers to being talked about? Like your top 5 teams get talked about, your first 5 teams into the top 25 get talked about, and you have like your outliers, but you don't really talk about 6 through 19.
yeah,
yeah, it's kind of like that in football
absolutely.
too. I feel
Yeah.
like,
Because and
but
I guess it also depends on like the prestige of your school, right? I mean, like you said, no one's really talking about Coastal Carolina, but they're they're a top tier baseball program.
they
So
are
they
second year
won the
coach.
national and they won the national championship not that long ago. So why are we not why does no one see them as a threat? Everyone keeps wanting to bring up the Tennessees and Vanderbilts and LSU's. I mean, Clemson even. So like I get it. I get it. But that's why I say rankings don't matter. Let's look at winning. Yeah, I know. Let's look at
That's
how
where that
much they're
cheddar
winning,
cheese is going, baby.
how good they're playing. I mean, just like we would in Major League Baseball. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Got to
So,
win at the right time.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Hey, Colton, I want to ask you something. You brought up
What's
Oklahoma
up?
baseball and Oklahoma softball.
Yeah,
What you got?
man. So, how do you think those Oklahoma baseball boys feel about having the College World Series played in their home state, right up the road from there, you know, and seeing their girls win it? Like, 80% of the time over the last 5 years, and then being just like dusted usually. So
Yeah.
Trucker brought up a really good point. OU baseball's on a heater right now, 42-12. Anybody want to guess what the score differential is right now for the OU softball team?
I have no idea.
Something out there.
100-2.
Well, you're close. It's 125 to 28 points. They're 8-1. So they scored 125 points. It's only lining up 28.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna call us out. We put out a video. Was this the end of the OU softball due to them losing like that? I think we might have been wrong because holy cow! I mean, outscoring your opponents by 100 points in 8 games. That's not.
Well-
that's BTA right there. That's
Well,
Tom Brady in the freaking Super Bowls against the Falcons second half. That's just a freaking whipping, dude. You're whipping them.
Well,
Whipping.
that's what I'm saying. And then they go out and beat UTEP 34-0.
Yeah, 34-0. Like, wait a minute. What's the rule about getting run ruled? Like so they had to do all this before the 5th inning or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, holy cow!
Yeah.
What is,
Yeah.
like, were they just getting their jogging britches on and just said, "All right, we're going around the bases a few hundred times," or God dang?
I mean, at that point, just start letting them hit opposite side. Like if they're righties,
Yeah,
let them
just
hit lefty. You know what I mean?
start-
I mean, they scored
Yeah.
30. They scored 34 runs on 25 hits, and they hit 2 grand slams that game.
What was that game growing up? Not the show, the other baseball, Slugfest. Remember Slugfest? Yeah. And you could like get those. You get those. Not what are they called? Those pennants. Those little triangle
Yeah.
flags. And one of them was like super bunt. You could just like lay the bat down and hit like 480-yard home runs. It's like at that
Yeah.
point, I feel like that's what OU was doing, just laying them out there, flink, flink, flink. I mean, could you
So-
imagine those poor girls from UTEP? They're the best players that UTEP could get. The best players University of Texas El Paso could get. And they get smacked like that. By now, granted, they're number 3 now. They moved up in the rankings. They're number 3 now. 34-0. Like, how do you think that practice went for them? Like, do you think the coach was like, "Well, girls, they're number 3 for a reason," or is it like, "No, we got to play better than that"? What is this? What is this? I don't know how softball is compared to football, but I'll tell you right now, if we got freaking shut out like that, our coach was not happy. It was not a
Yeah.
good conversation at halftime, at any time after that. It's just, golly.
I mean, I've been run ruled before. I've never been beat like that before. So from a coaching standpoint, what do you do? I mean, I don't really think an ass chewing is going to do much for that. Honestly.
What are they going to have left? I mean, they
that's
whooped
what I'm
them so
saying.
bad, I'm afraid they indented their butts. I mean, golly.
There's not really much like go get them next game. You know,
I move on.
Yeah, like
The
okay,
train
that
don't stop
happened.
rolling.
No, we still got more softball to play, long season, but that
And you never know. They could beat each other in the Women's College World Series.
it could
Oof.
happen. It could
Could
happen,
happen.
and
It can happen.
that would
However-
be that would be interesting to see though.
That's why I
However,
love the
it's-
sport, bro. That's why I
Yeah.
love the sport.
Anything could happen. A game that's based off of failure, and you just find ways to succeed. I love it. I love the game, and I love that OU sports are doing well. It's about time because I was looking up something, and
Something.
yeah, OU is the only team, or OU football is the only team to turn a profit for the school.
OU
last year.
athletics, yeah.
Yep.
You got to think that's honestly a lot of sports. I know during the college playoffs there was a banner, and I can't remember what it said, but I looked it up. I think it's like 85%. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's like 85% of all Division One, however you want to tier it, programs rely on their football. Whatever it was. I don't know if it was like 85% of like the big whatever it was, like the main 10 or whatever it was like that. But it was talking about like how the NIL is going to help change that and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, it's wild because football, I mean, just look at the Florida deal back when they had that documentary, right? With the whole Florida Gator situation. They had the police, according to their documentary, it was like, oh, they play football?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and see, that's crazy for me for OU because of the softball program, right? And everything that that program has brought to the school and done for the university. Um, and that's not, I mean, that's not the only one. OU has a lot of programs that compete for conference
Mm-hmm. Well,
titles
the
and national
gymnastics, for
championships.
example. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's just kind of surprising, I guess, that football was the only one to bring in a profit, um, but we'll see how everything shapes up. I'm just glad OU's doing good. Now we just got to get football on the right track.
Well, I
Um,
want to say this before we get off that subject. I mean, we looked it up, the NIL, per team and blah 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 blah. Wasn't it like
yeah,
$3,500 for the average softball player,
I think
something
that's
like
what you
that?
said, and
Yeah,
that bothers me
it's
honestly.
like
Uh,
60,000 for the team or something like
Yeah,
that on average. On average. Um,
super low, super low.
yeah. So I mean, that was by on. I want to say it was on three or NIL dash NCAA, but I pulled it.
Yeah,
I pulled it from one of those two, and it was like, well, I thought I looked it up wrong. I thought I was like, oh, that's per player. No, that's per team. Like, holy cow!
yep.
So,
I mean, it this is the transition from the Big 12 to the SEC has been rough on OU.
oh yeah.
And where I'm getting this is from it's sport or business sports journal or sports business journal .com, but they were saying that OU had a $43.7 million deficit. They only got $12.5 million from the SEC in fiscal year 25.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big problem. But they did that so they can make the jump a year early. Um, and now with the distribution, a bigger distribution coming in from the SEC,
Mm-hmm.
um, we'll see. It'll be nice to see what the school can do with that distribution, bring in some more players, update facilities, and go from there. But speaking of schools that make headlines, IMG Academy.
Hey yo,
What are
uh,
we doing?
what's going on, you
So
guys?
Uh-oh.
I got some info on this thing. So the
Yeah.
U.S. Treasury announced it today, um, that they were hit with the $1.72 million fine, which they came to a settlement was the correct term they used. So this is what they agreed to pay back and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, so over 5 consecutive years from 2018 to 2023, with violations spanning in 2018 to 2022 in some reports, IMG accepted tuition, lodging, and other fees for two students whose parents were on the OFAC's sanction list, specially designated nationals or SDNs. Those parents were sanctioned under the Foreign Narcotics Kingpin Designation Act for providing financial support to a narco trafficking cartel based organization. This led to 89 apparent violations of U.S. counter narcotic sanctions.
I have a real quick question.
God.
How many people? Two?
Two,
How
two
much money?
students.
Yeah. How much
They came
money?
to a set. They didn't disclose how much money was given. They
Mm-hmm.
only disclosed the settlement that they reached with the school, and it's one
How
point
much is that
seven two million
tuition?
dollars. It's private. It's top tier. I don't want to just throw out a random number, but I
Well,
guarantee you
for
it's up
two
there.
people,
Probably my
for one,
salary.
yeah. But I'm just saying, like, for two
Yeah.
kids, 1 point, how much? 1.7?
1.72 million that the IMG Academy is paying the federal government.
What? For two
So
kids?
essentially, the federal government is seizing this money from the academy,
No, I get
which
that. I get it, but that's got to be
those
like
laws in
correlate. Like,
place.
it's got to be like a correlation between like what it costs versus how much they're paying in penalties versus how much they paid in, right? Like, it's not just like, oh yeah, they gave you $20,000. We're going to take $2 million from you. No, it's like,
Yeah.
how much did they give versus how much did it take for those 2 students to go there. Like what?
That's
Are
probably
they
chump
buying
change.
I'm just saying, but that's what I'm saying. Like, how much does it cost to go to this IMG Academy? Like, I saw it. I think it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, all right, rock and roll. Good for you, future athletes of America. $2 million for 2 students? That's over 4 years. That's what is that? $250,000 per student per year?
So
Well,
you
I'm
ready for
curious.
this?
No, I'm
Real
not
quick
ready.
question.
Obviously, what is wrong with this?
Real quick.
Go ahead.
What do you think the school knew where that money was coming from?
So
And
here you go.
if
Ready?
they, yeah, let's hear it.
All right. So key point.
Hold on.
IMG had
Wait,
the name.
wait.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh god.
All right. This is gonna.
Glasses are on.
Gentlemen.
All right.
Go
So IMG had the names of the sanctioned individuals, the exact matches of them, but failed to screen them properly or implement effective compliance checks. OFAC described it as IMG recklessly disregarding the sanctions requirements, even though the violations were deemed non-egregious, not worst,
Egregious.
not the worst level. Yeah, egregious. Thank you. Sorry.
Words are
not,
hard.
not the worst level of intent. IMG didn't voluntarily self-disclose initially, and the OFAC had already started investigating. But they cooperated fully afterward, implemented a sanctions compliance program, took remedial steps, which helped reduce the penalty. So no criminal charges were put out there, just a civil settlement. IMG agreed to pay the 1.72 million to resolve, big word here, keyword, potential liability.
Yeah.
So this can come back later and haunt them.
Oh, it's gonna. Oh, it's gonna.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
now if a top tier high school gets caught, or sorry, a top tier prep academy, college prep academy gets caught doing this, it makes you wonder
Who else is doing it? That's a good question.
LSU,
Nah.
Don't make me put these back on.
UC, USC.
Well, okay.
I'm
Hold
watching
on.
you.
Well, IMG is a high school, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just
It is.
imagine if they're doing
So-
it to a high school, imagine what other schools they're doing it to as well. They just haven't been
Well,
caught.
I mean, look at
So I want to say
US
this too.
Hang on. Look at USC in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's potential, but I think with the implementation of NIL, that stuff, I don't really think that.
It's out the window, yeah. But you
Yeah.
look at Oklahoma and they have the NIL for high school players, correct?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Uh-oh. Glasses are
never
back
know.
on.
all right, boys, here we go. Colten, you got the
Let's
floor.
hear it.
What in the world? Okay. The tuition for IMG Academy for boarding students is $94,000. And for day students, it's 75 grand. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And it says down here, and this is on IMG Academies, like right here. Drug cartels have been reported to range from 97.8 thousand to 103,000 for certain students. So let's get this straight. Glasses are on.
Break it down for us.
$100,000 to go to a school. If you're a boarding school, you're boarding them, and it says the tuition fees linked to the Mexican drug cartel have been reported in the range of $97,000 to $102,000 per year. I'm over here thinking, I'm already paying $94,000 to send my kid to school there. What is the Mexican cartel send? And it says right there. You can read it. It's on the internet. What are they paying extra for? What else is going into that? They got a pool. I get that. That's not $100,000 a year. They got these cool living spaces. That's not $100,000 a year. I'm interested to see what happens?
You're
Like we're saying.
guaranteed that money that you're paying is guaranteeing you either you being a draft pick if you play your cards right, the top tier training, coaching, and recovery. And also you got to think about they're a college prep school. So imagine how many of those kids play sports there and they end up going to Harvard for law to be a doctor and stuff like that. So you're not like there's a lot that probably goes into it and everything
Good
like that.
save.
And Florida is I'm not done. Florida is
Good.
very, very expensive to be there, to even live there.
Yeah, it is. What?
Just gonna
Go ahead.
just gonna say this. College football. If you're going to school to play college football, and you're going to one of these top tier football schools, are you going to class? They're paying you $7 million a year. Are they gonna fail you? I'm just saying. You see these comedy skits, and it's like, oh yeah, our boys play. Our boys play. They play all right. Oh. Yeah, they go to school. They go to class. Feeling a little Blue Mountain. Y'all watch Blue Mountain State? Anybody?
Yeah,
Absolutely. It's
Yeah,
classic.
absolutely. And I can't remember who it was. The two college athletes were like, "Yeah, that's pretty close." Yeah. And you got freaking the sloth from Miami saying, "Yeah, I don't go to. I graduated 2 years ago. I don't go to school. I don't go to classes. I don't go to classes." So it's like, I mean, what is? Yeah, so yeah, it's like, oh, some of these guys, it's a college prep school, dude. Majority of public schools are college prep schools. $100,000 to go to a school is ridiculous.
I agree. $100,000 to go to school is
You know what?
ridiculous. And I what about these guys that came from IMG who did it legit and they're seeing this, these two kids getting money pumped into them from the cartel. I mean, then you start to think, wait, hold on a second. How many of these other guys had this done? You know, it would be interesting to see if they continue the investigation, what all kind of
It's over.
corruption is going on at IMG.
They
Well,
they
I know,
just
but
that's why they reached the civil settlement.
they might launch a secondary one
That's
too.
why I said potential.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. I I just the amount of corruption in sports right now is insane. Um,
We'll get to that at a
but
later date.
at a later date. But for now, we're gonna wrap this up, fellas. Thank you for joining me. Real quick, Colton,
Yeah,
say it.
I just want to say this. I'm just going to say this. U.S. Performance Academy, right there with IMG, right? Like if you Google IMG Academy, you know what their tuition is a year? 20 grand.
That's still
20.
a lot.
I mean, compared to $100,000.
No,
Are you kidding me?
I know. That's still a lot though. I mean, you're paying 20 grand to go to high school. That's insane. But anyways, we're gonna wrap this up, fellas. Thank you for joining me. It was fun to talk to y'all. I'm glad we're back. Got 2 more shows this week. Stay tuned for some big news coming. So we'll see y'all on Thursday. And we appreciate everybody who's been following us, been giving us some support, some feedback. Thank y'all. We love you. And we'll see y'all at the next hangout. Bye, guys.
See you.